I'm
And
excited.
What? You can say whatever you were going to say. What were you going to say?
you all can hear me okay?
Yeah, of course, you're
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Okay. Hooray. In this new and indie spotlight episode of Fictional Hangover, we chat with Kait Ballenger, whose newest book, Original Sinner, comes out March 25th. Hey,
Thank you so
everybody!
much for having me.
Yes, we're so excited that you're
Woo!
here! Welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult, and sometimes other books, series, authors, voice actors, and illustrators that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire, and today we're joined by Kait Ballenger, whose newest book, Original Sinner, as we said, comes out March 25th. That's soon! That's
That's so
so
soon.
soon!
That's so
Very
soon.
soon.
Uh, and I've had this book just sitting, staring at me. Like, I can't, don't open it yet, Amanda. You're gonna get spoiled. And you
I
can get spoiled.
flicked.
How dare you?
I didn't read full sentences, but I read words.
Mm. I bet they were good
They
words
were
because
naughty words. They were the
ba-
words that I like.
based on the summary of this one,
Woo!
excited. We're excited. We're excited for this one.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
yes. Okay. So everything that we're going to talk about today, everything that we know of the book comes from that sexy summary, because we don't want to spoil anything. So tell us everything you want us to know about Original Sinner without being spoilery. What do you want us to know going into it?
So, Original Sinner is a dark urban romantasy. It takes place in New York City, and Lucifer and the other seven deadly sins are now billionaire celebrities who kind of rule New York City and beyond. Um, and the heroine, Charlotte, and I don't think this is too spoilery, you can get this from the back cover blurb. So the heroine, Charlotte, is the daughter of an evangelical preacher, a very abusive one, and she decides that she's going to run away from her family and go live in New York City. And that working for the devil means that her dad is not going to come find her.
Ah,
So she ends up working PR at Lucifer's company, and fake dating drama ensues from there.
I do like
yes.
fake dating trope.
Yes.
I
Oh,
do too. It's one of my favorites.
it's amazing.
I like the idea of her running away from the evangelical abusive father straight into
Oh my,
Lucifer's arms
oh my
and him
God.
going,
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
come to me.
Right?
And they're
Like
so
the
strong and
ultimate
masculine.
rebellion.
I mean, yeah, yeah, you can't get more rebellious than that.
I
He's
support
Yeah,
it.
so
yeah.
I
rippling
support it.
and firm. And
Yes.
is that an eight pack? Anybody else a bit thirsty?
Thirsty for the devil. We're already
Yeah.
there. I love it. It's
So
amazing.
the way
Hail Satan!
That's right up my alley. Come on.
Yeah, so the way I like to describe the series to readers is if you liked the Netflix show Lucifer, but you wanted it darker and like mixed with some BDSM from Fifty Shades of Grey, like this is the series for you.
Oh,
It's amazing.
it is BDSM done right though, and not 50 Shades BDSM, where
Yes, it is BDSM done right, I promise.
that's good. That's good. I,
I
I
have
find it so problematic, and when I do read it right, I'm like, oh, thank goodness, it's
Finally. Yes.
embracing a
I
proper culture.
Yes, I was very like mindful of that, and so I have several Kinkster friends that I was like, okay, you need to read this before I put it out, right?
That's
Like
brilliant. That's great. That's what
Yes.
you need to do.
Yes.
You need to have sensitivity readers, and you need to have actual people who represent the cultures and the kinks and all of that to read through. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Love
It's
that.
amazing.
yes, yeah.
Amazing.
And I will say because it's dark romance, right? Like it is not a perfect portrayal of kink because dark romance, we know they do things they are not supposed to. But there is a disclaimer that this is not an entirely accurate representation of kink. It is meant for entertainment purposes only. So
Please tell me that Charlotte turns the tables on Lucifer with the kink.
um Not yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Yet. I heard
Yet,
the word
yet,
yet.
yet.
yes, so there is more books in the series.
Seven?
There are more books in the series that are going to be coming out, and they do follow Charlotte and Lucifer. So book two comes out in September of this year, September 9th.
Okay.
And I'm currently writing book three, so there's plenty more of these two characters.
Okay. Fantastic.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
All right. So your other books, you have a whole pile of other books that you've written.
I do.
Um,
Yes.
they all seem to feature sexy, shirtless cowboys and werewolves,
Yes.
plus a sprinkling of vampires. So, what caused the don't punch me for the pun, the shift to the big city and wolves and vampires to fallen angels and the seven deadly sins?
Yeah, so the series I'm best known for is my Seven Range Shifters, which is Cowboy Wolf Shifters. So it is set out in Montana. But the series I had before that was originally traditionally published. It has now been re-released as indie titles. But that one was actually set in Rochester, New York. So it was in a city, but not quite as big of a city as the Big Apple. Um, and as much as I love my Cowboys, I actually grew up in a city. I'm originally from Detroit, which is in Michigan, and so that is just a home environment for me being in a big city.
Nice.
And when I set out to write Original Sinner, my goal for this project was just to make it everything that I wanted to read in a book. It was kind of a passion project for me. Like, I just want to do something really fun and just let myself do whatever the hell I want.
Mm,
And pun intended. And so that meant that I was going to be writing about, these celebrity billionaires. And the shift to demons, I think, was most of my writing deals with some kind of like fantasy or paranormal creature. And so even though the focus of my other series has been on werewolves, and then I've got the Rogue Brotherhood series is the other one that's set in Rochester, and they're like hunters of the supernatural. So there's multiple different types of creatures in that series, and demons are one of the types of creatures. And so when I started writing Original Sinner, it just seemed like a very natural progression to go with a different sort of paranormal fantasy creature. And I think I like to talk about like where the idea started, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I love to write what I love to read, and I was really into reading Hades Persephone retellings at the
mm.
time that I was writing Original Sinner. And so I wanted to do a Hades and Persephone story that was not Hades and Persephone. And Lucifer is the Hades of Christian mythos, so that's how that was born.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
amazing.
I do like a Hades and Persephone, but I always think Hades gets such a bad rap.
He does get a bad rap, but I'm gonna be here to say I think Lucifer also gets a very bad rap and not always
Yes.
entirely deserved.
Yes,
100%.
definitely. 100%. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so that was where I made that connection, and once I decided that the hero of the book was going to be Lucifer, the
Yeah.
rest was built out from there.
It's amazing.
I love
Oh,
that. I love that.
yes. Same. Oh, man.
I like the idea of it being like that dark romantasy as well. So you've got those boundaries that you can cross quite nicely without having to offend the mythological people. It's like, come on, it's a romance fantasy. Let's bend the trope and make it what you want. So is that why you went with Pride/Lucifer first?
Yeah, I think it was just, you know, when I approached it from the standpoint of like I want to write Hades without writing Hades, and it like the thought was Lucifer, it was just he was always going to be the first one. I think that when you think about the seven deadly sins, like there's a lot of fun to be had there, and the other sinners are major characters in the series, and I do have hopes of eventually doing a spin-off about some of the other sinners as heroes and heroines. And but I think that there's just a draw to Lucifer's story because he's like the original rebel, the original bad boy, right? He's the one who causes all of them to fall in the mythology of my series. So, um, and I think there's just so much there to play with, right? Like it's it feel like from a writer standpoint, it feels similar to doing like a retelling of a myth, but not because even though Lucifer is as a character has all this mythology surrounding him, there's we don't really usually get to hear his side of the story, right?
No.
So, like, unless you're thinking like way back to like Paradise Lost, right? And there is some of that sort of mythos in here. So it was a lot of fun to play with a character, I think, that already had this kind of established backstory, but getting to flesh that out in a way that was way more specific and detailed. And so that was part of where the draw came from. And it also helped with the world building. So.
Is there anything unexpected that you've made Lucifer's character or personality or something that he does? Is there anything that you think, oh, people might not expect Lucifer to do this?
Yeah, so there's a couple things. The first thing I think, and this is to me it seems somewhat expected, but like to readers I think they would find it surprising. So when I was building out the series and the idea that there are these billionaires who lived in New York, I kind of had to ask myself, what would the seven deadly sins be doing in a modern New York City? Like what would their jobs be? And so Lucifer owns a luxury goods company because of course he does, because he's pride. He cares about his image and of what that looks like. And so, like, the company that Lucifer has created in Original Sinner is very similar, some readers might recognize, to Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, which is LVMH, is one of the biggest companies in the world. Um, and yeah, so getting to do that was very fun, but I think there's without getting spoilery, like
Maybe
don't
a
want to go
smidge, just a
spoilers.
smidge, just a smidge.
Yeah, just a smidge of a spoiler.
I'm being Lucifer
Um,
leading you down the dark path. Give us a
yes.
smidge.
Yeah, yeah, without getting too spoilery. I think that people often forget that before Lucifer was the devil, he was God's most cherished angel. And what does that mean? And why did he do what he did? And what were the motivations? And how does that feel to go from being chosen one, God's favorite child, to suddenly not being God's favorite child? So I'll kind
Oh,
of leave that there.
Mm.
oh. That feels like a family drama kind of situation,
Yeah, it
doesn't
does.
it?
There is a
Yes.
lot of
Oh,
family drama in this series, right? Like
oh.
all the other sinners are his siblings. Michael, the archangel, is another one of his siblings. They're all very, very family drama.
The group text must
Oh
be
no.
amazing to see.
Right? Yeah. There was so much drama and backstory and history to create there. And it makes for a lot of fun tension to write and hopefully for readers to read as well.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Did you find anything in your research that really stood out to you that felt like I need to get this in there? I need this. This is
Hmm.
something that I need to integrate somehow, a little tidbit.
Um, there's as I get into the later part of the series, it's interesting researching some of the mythology around the angels.
Mm.
Just because, I think we have like general depictions of angels as like these humans with like really big wings, right? And I mean that is one interpretation of them, but like when you really dig down into like the established mythology, they're really weird looking.
Yeah, they're terrifying. All the
Yeah,
eyeballs. Like,
yeah, eyes
oh,
upon eyes and other things
yes.
like this, and I knew some of this, right, having grown up in the Christian church, but I don't I don't think I knew, but I didn't know. And so that has been a surprising aspect of my research for sure.
Mm.
I can see Amanda. Amanda does a lot of fantastic cosplay. She's a great, especially literary character cosplayers. And I can honestly see Amanda going, "Ah, let's be an angel with wild eyeballs,"
Oh,
which
yeah.
wouldn't be the first time you've had a massive amount of eyeballs on your
Right.
person.
No, it would not be the first time, but this one would be more terrifying than comical as the last one, and I'm there for it.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd
And I
open
will
your
say,
mouth and you'd speak your true name of God and kill everybody. That would be
Yes,
fantastic.
immediately. Immediately that would happen.
yeah, yeah. And I will say most of the time in the series, right? Like these characters are very much in human form. Like they look like you and I, right? But they can be those other things. And
I
I
was about
think
to
the
say,
the underlying detail of the fact that they can and sometimes on rare occasions do, that makes it a little scarier.
oh, I'm excited for it. Oh,
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
The
Sounds like there's some aspects of theological horror. Is that a thing? Is that a genre? Shall we
Oh,
make it a genre?
let's make that a genre. I love it.
yeah. I
Groundbreaking.
mean,
You are groundbreaking, Kate.
oh, thank you. I do think that there's like when you're writing anything that's like paranormal adjacent, I feel like there's always occasionally some aspects of like horror elements to it. And I do think I'm doing a lot of critiquing like of Christian mythology and the Christian church, like underneath the romance plot.
Yeah.
So there's kind of that subtext there, and so that makes it interesting.
Definitely. You've got to subvert the what's known as well, and you've got to really throw curveballs. It keeps things alive and interesting, but also challenging. And that's the great thing about books. You are having a normal person having a relationship with freaking Lucifer, and
Yeah.
yeah, but you're also turning it on its head and making it something, and that's really interesting. And that teaches people something, even if it is a work of fiction.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so excited to read
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
it.
I had a lot of fun writing this one and I'm actually like revisiting it right now because they just sent me the audiobook files, which has been
Ooh.
amazing to listen to the audiobook interpretations of it.
Oh,
And the narrators did such a fantastic job. It's like it's really wonderful to get to see other artists, like, in this case, voice artists making something out of your work and how they interpret it, and it's just been a real delight to get to re-listen to the audio.
I'm so excited. There's an audiobook. As soon as we get finished with this, I'm pre-ordering it. So,
We are
Oh, thank
massive,
you.
massive advocates of
yes,
audiobooks.
yes, definitely. We love an audiobook.
I really enjoy audio. It's not always my preferred listening. Like I'm very specific about the types of audio I want, but they did such a great job with this one, and I'm super impressed. Um, yeah, the narrators are just fantastic.
I
I
love
need to
that
know
you
who
say
they are.
narrators too. So
Because
there's
it's dual
there's
point of view.
Yes,
Oh my
yes, it
God.
is it is
yes,
dual
yes.
narration. I was pushing very hard for duet. I was really hoping for that, but it is dual narration. And so which I don't think I could imagine it any other way. Because the book alternates between first person point of view from the heroine Charlotte and first person from Lucifer. And so I cannot imagine having just had a single like female narrator reading Lucifer's sections because he's a whole force of a character.
The narrators are Isabel Turner and Ethan Reed. I am on Audible right now.
Okay. Oh,
Yes, yes,
you're
those are my
already on there.
narrators,
Okay.
and
Okay.
they did such an amazing and lovely job.
I like to look at the back catalogue as well. It's the same as authors. You look at the back catalogue and go, yes, yes. I'm just going to judge everybody's
Yes,
back
just
catalogue by their covers and go, ooh,
yes.
ooh, that looks
Yeah.
good. Oh, we love an audiobook. Do you
We
have any
do.
favorite audiobook narrators? Because we could talk audiobooks all day if you
We
want.
definitely could.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh. Okay,
sorry.
so
Pre-ordered. Already done. Okay.
the my favorite audio narrator, and this is specifically because I was just an absolute simp for the audio for Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. Have you all listened to that one?
Yes,
It's
yes.
amazing.
Oh, it is
Like,
not expected. Like one of our super fans, Drew, shout out to Drew. She said to me, because we did a Twilight movie marathon together, and we were sitting there and she went, "You need to read this book." I went, "Okay," didn't ask her anything about it. Listen to it. I'm sitting next to my 10-year-old son when things are happening, going, "Oh my God." And I couldn't engage. And then he snuggles up to me and he's like, "Mama, look at this YouTube video." I'm like, I can't. I had to pause it. Had to pause it.
oh my
If you know,
goodness.
you know.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I didn't listen to this one.
you
Amanda,
have to. You
Son
so
of a
have to.
bitch.
the trigger. I put the at work. We have a book club on Teams, and I recommended it, but I put all the trigger warnings on. The trigger warnings took over the page on my screen. It's
Ah,
kinky as fuck.
Yes,
ah,
it is a wild ride, but I
Yes,
I I loved that
yes.
audiobook and it was so good and Jacob Morgan's performance was just
Oh, it was
epic and so now I'm like favorite narrator
beautiful.
hands down.
okay.
Beautiful. The twists that take place. I was literally talking to the hubby and saying, "This has happened," and he's laughing. I went, "It sounds ridiculous, but the twists are amazing." It was so.
Ah,
I
Yes.
bonded with two strangers the other day in the bookshop over it because one of them pointed to it and went, "That book's really good." Their friend went, "Is it?" And I went, "Yes," and had to join in. It was.
It like
It's
and
ridiculous.
and if you listened to the audio, like all I have to say is the voice modulator.
Oh my God, yes.
I was
what
Oh.
like,
are you two
I
doing
couldn't
to
get
me?
over it.
Oh my God.
Oh, Amanda, honestly, like
I've
story-wise,
just borrowed it from the
it's a
library.
very, very spicy book.
Fine.
Yes,
And
yeah.
it is a romance, but it's not like romantic.
Okay, good.
I
Yes.
think you'll because Amanda's not the most romance is like her least favorite. Horror, yes,
Horror,
and
yes.
I think this
Romance,
might
no.
actually get the fine line where you actually will like it because there's some ridiculously funny bits in. The storyline takes twists and turns. Like
Okay.
It does.
it's
Okay.
you're like, hang on, what?
Okay.
There is a murder that's on the back. That's not a spoiler.
Fine.
It is
Okay.
about there is a murder,
Uh-huh.
and it's just a wild ride. It's batshit
Okay.
local, and it's
Okay. I'm
the
ready
audio
for
is
it.
so well done. You'll enjoy it just for the narration, I think.
I'm ready for it. It's my
It,
next
it,
read.
I'm
On
so
deck.
glad that
Yes.
you
Ready
you
to
you
go.
you said that one, Kate. Honestly, I'm like yes.
Yeah, I had such a fun time with that one, and I can't wait for book two.
Oh, it's soon as well. But we get Original Sinner first, then we get
Yes.
books two.
Yes.
Yes.
You need to
Yeah.
come back just so we can talk about book two.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I'd love
I mean,
to.
obviously we'll talk about Original Sinner with spoilers, but we
Obviously, but it's more important that we have a mini book club and talk about other things instead.
Amanda, you might have scared off an audiobook narrator at one point, didn't you, on social media?
I
The
did.
voice, yeah.
I did, but it's okay. It's okay. I went on a tangent one time and was very, very obsessed with Steve West. Do you know Steve West? Any of his
I'm
books?
not familiar, no.
His voice is made of dreams. So you should just
Oh.
go and check him out. Also, he narrates more spicy things under the name Steve East. He's very clever with his little swap up there,
I
but
see what he did there.
yeah, see what he did there. Yeah, I'm still obsessed with him and we scared him off on at that time it was still Twitter, because we had a conversation going and he was tagged in it and he was like, "What the hell is going on right now?"
That's because we
Just
wanted him to start an
back away.
app where all he does is talk to us and it
Yeah.
just soothes you.
Yeah.
He think Richard Armitage, the actor Richard Armitage's voice, but a little bit deeper and a little bit
Oh,
huskier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's good.
yeah,
okay.
It's good
yeah.
stuff. It's
I'm
good
gonna have to
stuff.
look this guy up,
Yes,
right?
I would
please
love
do.
Richard Armitage to be in like a Seven Deadly Sins thing, but he needs to be gay.
That would be amazing.
Mm.
I mean, he is gay as in IRL, but needs
Thanks
to
for
be
thanks for
he needs to
announcing that
also
to
play
everyone.
because I need to see him kiss a man, preferably Lee Pace,
Hmm.
I'm
in
here for
life.
that. Front row seat.
Lust, lust fits.
Please.
So yeah, so without getting too spoilery, lust is pansexual in my series, and because of course he would be, right?
He has to be.
He's attracted to anybody, like so. Yeah,
Mm,
ideas.
mm. We like as Fictional Hangover to give gifts to authors, and it's
We
usually
do.
what we want to see in books.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Oh, do you have any plans though to actually introduce the virtues?
I do not actually.
Hmm.
Can we
I
corrupt something?
Yeah, that's all we want. We want to corrupt things.
it it's an interesting question because it's something that sort of hadn't been on my mind, but now I'm like, maybe I could toy with that.
Yes.
I'm so like part of it I think is I'm so entranced by writing like really morally gray and complicated characters
It's
right
my
now.
favorite
Like
type.
that's just
It's
like
my favorite
yeah,
character.
that I yes, and Lucifer is definitely that very morally gray hero. And by proxy of becoming his fake girlfriend, right? Charlotte becomes somewhat morally gray herself.
Good.
So it's yeah, over the course of the series, she's not so innocent anymore.
Who wants to be sweet and
Um,
innocent?
right?
No.
That's
Yeah.
boring.
No.
That's
Ultimately,
boring.
that's what she ends up loving about him, right? He loves all the darkest parts of her as only the devil could.
Well,
Oh, that
exactly.
was
You can be
beautiful.
morally great, but still give money to charity. It's
Yeah.
possible.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
You
Yes.
don't
the
just
the
because you're morally
lovable
great doesn't
asshole.
exactly. You don't have to be a dick. You can be a lovable asshole.
Yes.
Yes. I would describe Lucifer as a lovable asshole.
Fantastic. Please stay with us after the episode completes so we can get your mailing address and send you Fictional Hangovers lovable asshole t-shirt. You need one.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing.
Man. Okay, so let's talk about something that's, tangentially related. If you worked for the devil, what would your job be? And have you had any real life jobs from hell?
Oh. Oh. Um If I worked for the devil, I'd probably be doing something similar to Charlotte's job, which is PR, mainly just because as an author, you end up gaining a lot of PR experience. So like that is probably the only thing I would be qualified to do within Lucifer's company. Um, so my background of my day job is I am an adjunct professor in an MFA program. So I teach creative writing.
Awesome.
And so I could write up a good press release like Charlotte could. So I think I'd be pretty good at that. And jobs from hell that I've had. I don't I think the one that I've had that is probably the worst, but like I don't want to call it a job from hell because it was
Mm,
also very sad, but like so I worked in an assisted living facility with patients with Alzheimer's and
mm,
dementia.
Mm.
And there were parts of it that were very lovely and rewarding, but there were also parts of it that it made it the job from hell. And it wasn't so much the people there, it was the administration.
It's always the
Um,
way.
it
Always
is.
the
Yes,
It
way.
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, so it had its rewarding moments, but there were times when that was the job from hell.
Mm.
So,
My one word for jobs from hell is retail.
Mm.
Yes, yes. Retail, or my husband worked many years a job from hell, which was being a bartender
I
and
could
Oh.
dealing
not
with
do
drunk
that.
people all day long.
Oh. No.
Yeah,
Anybody who works service, my hat's off
yes.
to you because I would drop everything and I would forget people's orders. I'm so glad I'm in the
Yes.
UK and don't have to work for tips
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
would not. I could be a greeter, but not actual service staff.
Mm.
I don't
Yeah,
care if I forget people.
it's a miserable job, not something I would enjoy, and I'm glad I don't have to work as that. So yes, hats off to service industry workers.
Be nice to
Definitely.
your wait staff, people.
Yes,
Yes,
everyone,
please.
please.
Rule of thumb, don't piss off anybody who's making you food
Right.
or has
Yes.
control over your food.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Well,
always tip well.
that's something I'm probably going to be playing with in the later parts of Original Sinner, because gluttony is he works in food service, of
Of
course.
course he does.
Right.
He's on the Food
Amanda,
Network
we need to
too.
start thinking about all the different sins and trying to get them in the conversation because we're getting stuff here. We're getting
I know we are.
spoilers.
I know we are. Oh, wow. Okay.
Are you looking up all
All
the
right.
seven deadly sins
I
there?
may or may not be doing that.
I have a handy little list in the front of the book that we put the seven sinners with their
Oh,
corresponding names in the series.
oh,
In Edinburgh, there was a bar called Jekyll and Hyde's, and it was obviously based on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and it was
Mhm.
the front start looked like a proper Victorian gentleman's room. That's where the bar was, a library. If you want to find the toilets, you had to find the book to release the door. It
it's
took me five
amazing.
minutes, and I was desperate at one point. And then each room, as you got further back, it looked more like a laboratory, and it did the seven deadly virtues and the seven deadly sins, and the
Ooh,
virtues were all shots and the sins were all cocktails. And each
I
one of them
love
was
that.
absolutely freaking delicious. Unfortunately, it has since closed. I blame COVID because it
Oh,
has
Oh,
been a few years. But it was just one of those wonderfully atmospheric places. And I always remember, every time I think of the Seven Deadly Sins, I always think of that cocktail list.
mm,
yeah, I like that.
Mm.
mm.
Mm. Maybe it brings out the wrath in me.
Stop it.
Hint, hint. I'm trying here.
I'm glad that's the one you went with because that's the one that I was going to try to work in next. So good.
Well,
We're
I'm
on the
trying
same
not to be
page here.
slothful about it.
Yeah. So
Claire,
Sloth does make an appearance in Original Center. I won't say what he's doing or there, they all are secondary characters throughout the series. I would say the ones that appear the most without going too spoilery in Original Center specifically are Lust, his name's Asmodeus, and Sloth, which is Belphegor, and Greed, and her name is Maman, or she likes to be called Mimi.
of
So
course.
they are the most frequent in the earlier parts of the series, but Wrath is in there, and we get to see him later on. More in book two. More in book two.
Okay.
Why do I envision Envy being like a social media influencer, you know? Like, oh,
Oh, I can
look
see
at
it.
me, or like a look at me kind of girl, and oh, that irritating kind of person you want to slap.
Yeah,
Might just
so
be me.
Envy is absolutely irritating. I wrote a scene with him in book two, and he drives the heroine up a wall in that scene.
I'm
Like, and
totally
he's
on your
a
side.
total tech bro.
Oh
Envy's a
Oh,
pain in the butt.
oh
Like,
ah, I. That's the kind of character I cannot wait for them to like get meet their match and get put into their place
oh.
yes.
because it's always like it's so satisfying. It's like when you bite into a nice block of cheese. I just like cheese, and you're like, that's nice and sharp, and you get the texture. I'm very tactile at the moment, and I'm hungry as well. I need my lunch.
Mm,
Um,
I'm glad you went with
oh
cheese though.
well, Stupidly in my head, I was like, you know, when you bite into a sponge. No, Claire, that's
No,
not a thing.
Claire, we don't
That is
do
not a
that.
thing.
That's not a thing.
It's not a thing. No. Anywho's. The other one was going to be, you know, when you bite into wax from the Baby Bell wrappers. That might just be me.
Hmm.
Might be, might be.
It might be you. It's okay though. We still love you because we don't kink shame on Fictional Hangover.
No, we
So,
don't.
Yes.
so
I
there we go,
appreciate
Claire.
that.
Yes.
We'd be in trouble if there was kink shaming
No,
when it comes to original sinner.
there is no kink shaming on Fictional Hangover. We
It's
allow
more
Claire to bite sponges and
I
cheese
don't bite
wrappers.
sponges. Just I don't know why the sponge came into mind.
We
Baby
support you.
Bell wrappers, I do. The wax off Baby Bell. It's like
Mhm.
I think I used to do it as a kid because I was like watching. You know, when you watch murder programs and like they need to identify a body through the teeth imprint, and I don't ever remember my teeth ever being imprinted. So you know, I watch a lot of true crime. So now I'm like, oh, there's going to be evidence of my teeth imprint. That and it's just very satisfying. Bite into, don't swallow or chew it. Just like bite into it gently. Just give it a go, and
Do you
I'll
do
shut
it with
that.
the cheese still inside or the cheese has
No.
already been removed?
No, so you take the plastic off, you unwrap it, and you've got the two halves of the Baby Bell. You put one inside the other so it's nice and thick, and you press it down so it's a little bit flat. And then you just gently bite into it until you've got a teeth imprint. You go, actually, that was really satisfying. Ah, la, 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 la. I'm going to stop now and put it in the bin.
It's amazing.
I feel like I've opened up a little bit too much here.
But
I
it's
like
okay.
that there's a whole process to it.
Years of scientific investigation have gone into that process. Years. If I don't do it, I feel like now it's a compulsion. I've got to do it.
Do you have any Baby Bell in the house?
I do.
Okay. You will be able to take care of this when we get finished recording.
Yes.
Thank you. Please share photos with us. We need evidence. Obviously, your teeth impressions are the evidence that you're leaving behind.
I'm going to make an entire comic book strip of it.
That's amazing. Please
I will
tag us
post it on
all
social media and
on
tag you.
Instagram. Thank goodness. And then everyone's going to be like, what the fuck is this? You know what?
It's a Sunday in the life of Claire.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So, in every episode, you're just blowing right
Please
past
move
it.
on.
Just
Please.
moving on. In every episode of Fictional Hangover, we play Would You Rather. We normally do 5 questions, but in these new and indie spotlights, we only do one. And I think, Claire, you need to ask our Would You Rather question because it's not necessarily specifically related to this book. This one hits all romantasy in general.
Mm.
Okay.
But
Okay.
there are hashtag tenuous links because
Oh, we love a hashtag tenuous
we do love
link.
a hashtag tenuous link.
Okay, so would you rather, this is purely based on the summary of the back of the book, would you rather be the protagonist of an enemies to lovers romantasy or a fake dating romantasy?
Enemies to lovers. I feel like fake dating, I would be gaslighting myself too much,
Oh,
asking if we
yes.
really were in love. But like enemies to lovers, I would be allowed to feel my feelings and truly hate him until I didn't hate him anymore.
Yes. Yes.
Rage until the boinking starts.
Yes. I'm there for it. And enemies to lovers is also one of my favorite tropes. So
Same. I spend the entire time going, kiss, kiss,
yes.
just kiss.
Yep. Yes, exactly. Yeah, enemies to lovers for sure.
I'm totally with you there.
Oh, same. Same. I would not want to see myself in a fake dating sort of situation. But enemies to lovers, I will be there because I love the lovable asshole. So of course that's going to be me.
And a lot of
Yeah.
the time with enemies to lovers, like the lovable asshole doesn't have it. There's no like personal growth or anything like that. There's still a lovable asshole when they come out of it. They've just got a better
Yes.
understanding of each other.
Mm,
I don't like forced
Yes.
change.
no.
Well, and without getting too spoilery, part of how Lucifer and Charlotte end up fake dating is because they are butting heads so much. And so I'll just leave it at that.
They need to stop butting the foreheads and butt the lips. Mm.
I
Yes.
thought you were gonna say something else, but it's fine.
You're the one with the filthy mind for a change.
Fine.
Well, the book does go there too. I mean, like we get there eventually.
Okay, perfect. That's all we need to know.
You can't have BDSM without a little bit of, below the belt action. I'm trying to break her now.
It's fine.
Do you need, do you need to peel some peaches again?
No, oh no, stop it. Don't talk about peeling peaches. Don't drag Kate into that. She doesn't.
Now I'm like, I want to know what is this peeling peaches?
Beth Revis, wonderful sci-fi and fantasy queen, Beth Revis, is writing a series. I can't remember, it's Galactic. I can't remember what the
Uh,
series is called.
it's Chaotic Orbits is the
Chaotical, yeah,
trilogy. Full Speed to a Crash Landing is the first one, and it features the peeling of a peach scene.
which confuses us, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
literally a peach, and they take the skin off.
And
And
it's
it's
supposed to be sexy, or
no,
it's like,
no,
No,
it's
it's
not.
just
It's not sexy. They're
no.
just eating a peach, but we're confused by it, and then of course we twist everything and make it worse.
I
So
see.
So now it's a thing.
now it's a thing.
Hmm.
It's a horrible thing. Do you peel your
It's
peaches when you eat them?
I do not. I do not
I don't
peel
think
my
anyone does.
peaches.
Beth Revis
no.
might be the only one. We really
Yeah.
need to talk to her about that. We really need to
We need to
question
set that
her.
up. I was in the
Ugh.
supermarket the other day and walked past like the canned and jarred ones. I went, see, that's acceptable.
Sure.
Yeah. Canned and jarred one's fine,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
peeling the actual ones is a little different.
Now you
It's
see though, I really
uncomfortable.
want like a really kinky moment where somebody turns around and says, "I'm going to peel your peach," and it is like it is a full sexy moment, but it's to the point where you know the the bookstagrammers where they have the book and they're reading it and they go no and then spray the water bottle. I want
Yes.
that kind of moment with no,
All right.
don't peel
Well,
her peach.
okay. So Kate has a few more books that she has to write in this series. So, challenge extended to you, sexily peel a peach.
I
You
Corrupt
mean,
all of the
gluttony
sexy.
is there for it, right?
Yes,
Like
he's right
he's
there.
Yeah,
the
It's built
chef,
in.
he's into food stuff. I feel
It's
like we could
ready.
totally go there.
Please sexily peel a peach.
so looking forward to this.
Now I'm just scared of what from our conversation is going to accidentally creep into a book and we're going to read it and go, no, but yes, but no.
The more obtuse this thing, I think the better it
I
is. It's
know.
like, yeah,
And then
yeah.
everyone's going to question your sanity. Like, no,
Your editor's like, can you stop peeling peaches? Like, no, this
please,
is the hill I die on.
that has to happen.
I feel like in some ways they're already questioning my sanity with this series. They're like, Kate, you really went there, didn't you? And I'm like, yes, I did.
Excellent, excellent. That's what we love
Wonderful.
to hear.
Okay, so we need to wrap up this episode. What do you want everyone to take away from this book?
Hmm. I guess, oh, that's such a hard question.
I know.
Um, but I guess what I want them to take away from the book is that sometimes the villain isn't always the true villain.
Okay.
I'll leave
Mm,
that
Oh,
at that.
oh,
yeah,
oh, I like
I like
that.
that too. I like
Oh,
that a
that's a
lot.
t-shirt.
It is a t-shirt.
True villain? Question
Mm,
mark.
it's good stuff. Oh, okay.
Nice, nice. So, is there anything at all that you're excited to shout about? It can be the book series, it can be one of your other series, it can be something else, something that you're enjoying.
Hmm.
We've already talked about Severance off call. Everybody watch
Yes,
Severance.
yes.
Yeah, well, I think the thing I'm really excited about at the moment with the audiobook is something we already touched upon, but something I'm really loving right now is I'm going through Allie Hazelwood's backlist,
Mm.
and it is just so good because I read Deep End because there was all the discussion about kink and all the drama related to that. And I'm like, now I have to read this book because I write kink, right? And and I loved it. I thought it was great, and so that made me want some more Allie Hazelwood books. So that's something I'm having fun with at the moment.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
In regards to like writing stuff, I'm working on book three of Original Sinner, and I'm just really excited to see uh what readers think of book one because like I've kind of written this series in a vacuum, right? Like I'm already, writing book three and I haven't even heard what readers think of book one, so I'm really excited to see the reception for it.
Are you doing anything special on release day? Soon. On
I
March
am.
25th. That's so
I
soon.
I have a couple events that I'm doing. So on the 25th, I'm going to be at the New Romantics, which is a romance only bookstore in Orlando. And I'm going to be there with my author bestie, which is Abigail Owen, who wrote the Games Gods Play. And yeah, we're going to be having a author chat, and then the next day we're headed up to New York City to sign at the Ripped Bodice, and so we're going to have lots of fun that week.
I want to pilgrimage there. Oh, I'm so
So
jealous. I
amazing.
desperately want to go there.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
can't wait to see the pictures. I'm hoping you're going to post on social media all these lovely pictures of you at these
Oh
wonderful
yes.
bookshops.
Yes, there will be loads of pictures, I promise.
Yes, wonderful. You also have a newsletter which I have subscribed to. So
Yes.
go to kateballenger.com and subscribe to the newsletter.
Yeah, yeah, and I have some fun like original Sinner bonus things that are going to be coming out in the newsletter. Some character art
Amazing.
that's very sexy to
Oh,
send out to readers, and
oh, I
also
love character
a
art.
bonus scene from the end. It's a deleted scene that it did not end up making the cut of book one, but I think readers are going to like it anyway.
Oh,
Love a deleted scene. We need more
yes.
deleted scenes in books.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Oh, that would be
yeah.
amazing. Okay, well, tell everyone where to find you and all of your photos from your from your trips that you're going to be making. Tell everyone where to find you on social media and the internet.
Yeah, so I'm on TikTok as Kait.Ballenger, and then I'm on Instagram as Kait Ballenger as well. And then readers can also find me on my newsletter or my website at www.kateballenger.com.
Okay,
I
well,
love author newsletters. It's so
yes,
interesting. So everybody has to go
same.
and subscribe. Be
Yes,
cool, go
Oh,
definitely.
thank
subscribe.
you. That's where I'm at the most frequently. I promise I don't spam people. I send out my newsletter twice a month with fun updates. Sin of the month is a thing in my newsletter, so that's like where I talk about something sinful I did that month, and so I have a lot of fun with my newsletter readers.
Ugh,
Nice.
all right.
Nice.
Well, that
Well, I
brings
would love it
us.
if you could
Oh,
come back for Original Sinner
yeah,
to go all
definitely.
spoilers.
Definitely.
So
That
I
is,
think we'll have to drag you back in a few months.
yes, that is what
I
I was
would love
about to
that.
say. Definitely.
I
We have to let everyone we have to give everyone a chance to read it, so
Yes.
we won't drag you back immediately, but definitely. It's a shame though. Damn it, Claire, because our next month's theme is demons.
I
And this would have
know.
been a perfect fit for Demon Month. Well, that just means we can read it and then we'll cover it on the show in a little bit
Yes.
later.
yes,
Yes.
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 And I would love to come back and talk spoilers,
Oh,
so
fantastic. Because, well, we love it too. Oh,
Welcome to the Fictional Hangover family.
yes,
Oh, thank
definitely.
you.
All right. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of this new and indie spotlight episode of Fictional Hangover. Thank you so much for joining us, Kate.
Thank you for having me. It was so much fun.
All right. Make sure you join us next time for our regularly scheduled episode out on Wednesday. Look out for our Would You Rather polls on social media. Don't forget about our book club on Discord. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover themed merchandise and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.